Valuable to have your insights on the program. We now move on. More than 100 people have lost their lives after torrential rains triggered devastating flooding in the village of Kasaba near the shores of Lake Tanganyika in eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. The tragedy struck between Thursday night and Friday when the Kasaba River burst its banks following heavy downpour and strong winds. Local officials, including the Fizi Territory Administration, Sami Kalajodi, confirmed that initial reports indicate over 100 dead. South Kivu provincial spokesperson Didier Lugandriwa said 62 deaths have been confirmed so far, with at least 30 others injured. The region is only accessible by the lake and lacks mobile phone connectivity, hindering humanitarian responses. The village is still under the control of Kinshasa and not occupied by M23 rebels. This natural disaster comes as the DRC struggles with escalating violence. Rwanda-backed M23 rebels have intensified their offensive in eastern DRC, leaving thousands dead in the first 2 months of the year. We're now joined by Dr. Levi Nadu-Tswane, who is at the University of Technology located in Johannesburg, South Africa. Thank you very much for joining us. This flooding is very common in eastern DRC. Local authorities say about 50 people are still missing. Dr. Levi, in a region like this in eastern DRC, along with the war, what obstacles are hampering rescue and search and rescue efforts in the region?
Good day to you, and indeed I want to pass my greetings to the viewers at home. These are quite common events that will happen in that part of the DRC, and indeed they would happen at a time when most people would not be expecting or thinking that it could be some light rains, but the unfortunate part is that you'll get this kind of rains that will indeed destroy property and also at the same time having to take lives. It is also quite unfortunate that the citizens in that part of the DRC are facing this whilst there are wars that are taking place between the rebels and the government. But also at the same time, it is also an area that still requires a lot of development in terms of having connectivity and also in terms of them being able to relate and access the other parts of the DRC. And my view is that these are some of the issues that will relate to the challenges that government face in terms of dealing with issues of development and indeed ensuring that when there are situations like this one, there should be an easy way of addressing them. And of course, lives could be saved if you have got a proactive government that is able to deal with this kind of eventualities.
And Dr. Levi Nadu-Tswane, how might continuing clashes with the M23 rebels in South Kivu complicate relief operations and security for aid workers, do you think?
They complicate this kind of aid workers and assisting the people who are trapped in that area, in the sense that the rebels would capture the most important institutions of government. At some point we heard that they had captured the airport. At some point you'd hear that they would close or barricade roads that will lead to this kind of areas. And those are some of the issues that will therefore prevent the most vulnerable, the most seriously affected by these rains from getting the service or the assistance that they actually require. And that for me still talks to the efforts that both the government and the rebels are supposed to embark onto in terms of ensuring that there is peace in that part of the country, and also ensuring that the lives of innocent people are actually saved. And my view is that maybe both the government and the rebels could come to their own senses and find ways and means to ensure that innocent victims or innocent citizens are not necessarily affected by what is going on in the eastern part of the DRC.
Dr. Levine Adu-Chiswane, thank you very much for joining us on the program. Unfortunately, that is all